So, last last show we covered an article where Niantic was setting up interviews with Pokemon Go players in order to ask them what improvements need to be done in raids in Pokemon Go. And now we have another article that is going to be going over what they found out. So, recently Niantic shared an open invitation to interview trainers on the topic of how to improve Pokemon Go raids. We certainly encourage and support the company's efforts to collect feedback, but we wanted to highlight a few key areas on how raids can be improved. These features have been requested multiple times, on multiple occasions, and quite frequently over the past few years. We feel that they deserve to be implemented sooner rather than later, and that all of them make sense. All of the player quotes in this article were taken from this Reddit thread. Some of these features were mentioned back in 2017, as written here. Let's see. So, show the count of trainers currently waiting in the raid lobby. Being able to see how many people are in each raid lobby from the nearby list without having to click through each one would be helpful. This is a must. For years we have had to click, inspect, and go through the whole cycle again. Waiting for animations is fun once, but it's a terrible experience when clicking through multiple gyms. On top of that, having actual visible numbers on the map gives the game a sense of being alive, promotes interaction, and helps trainers see what gyms are hot and which are not. Are there any safety concerns? Unlike blah blah blah. This feature should be visible on the overworld map and on nearby screen. All right. Start raid now button. Maybe start by adding a start raid now button like people have been asking for 5 years now. When you're doing a solo raid, this is especially annoying. Guess I'll stand here doing nothing for 2 minutes. If the 2 minute timer weren't bad enough, why does the game find it necessary for non-remote raids to check my location again after the countdown timer ends? I know it allows a slightly bigger distance away from the gyms than when initially joining the raid, but it's still annoying. Sometimes it's pouring hard outside and I want to run home instead of shivering in the rain for 2 minutes. During raid hours, I want to use the time to walk towards the next gym. Hopefully, whoever connects via Zoom will start the conversation by holding up a 2 minute countdown timer. All right, so yeah, this is a no-brainer in our mind. If you can start a raid and you have to wait for 2 minutes, you should be able to skip the waiting altogether and just go in when ready. We don't care if it's implemented only for solo raiding or for group raiding, but everyone should be able to enter the raid when they want. I agree. All right, next is reduce the raid egg timer. Nothing worse than waiting for a level 1 raid to start only to finish in 5 seconds. They also need to shorten the egg timer as well. Why does a level 1 raid require an hour before opening up? This is true. It's silly to wait for level 1 raid the same duration as level 5. There needs to be something special about legendary raids, and regular raids should just feel common and simple. World of Warcraft raids versus dungeons are a good example of this. Dungeons are ran whenever you have nothing better to do, while raids are big, pompous events where 20 players have to coordinate. Maybe it's 10 nowadays, but I haven't played WoW in years. I agree. I agree. All right, various quality of life changes. Raid signups. I'd like to be able to tag an egg with I'm interested in doing this raid when it hatches, and that to the nearby list would suddenly coordinate spontaneous raids become less mysterious. I agree. That'd be really nice. We really, really need some form of communication system or alerts to show that people are currently joining a raid. Yeah, it would hurt a lot of people's Discord servers, but it would be really nice to have that in game. In-game raid bosses list. Outside raids proper, I can't see what the harm there'd be in letting us know which Pokemon are currently in raids. A banner in today's tab showing what is currently in rotation would be useful. I haven't had to run to Leak Duck. I shouldn't have to run to Leak Duck every time the raid bosses switch over. I agree. I don't know. I always know what's in the raids, so I don't. It makes sense. It says, please don't do this. They're totally going to shove AR into them, aren't they? I agree. We really don't need AR in gyms, but I'm sure they're working on something. So what do we think? Anyone else have any comments on what they think needs to be updated in the gyms? Pokemon Go? Comment below. I really want that timer, and I really like it being like active and knowing what if people are in the lobbies around. That would be something that we really, really need.